Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is the Retro No Cap recap of The Curse of Oak Island Season 7 Episode 17 called To Boulderly Go. Originally aired March 17th, 2020. If you missed any of my recaps of previous and future episodes, there's a link to my Oak Island playlist in the upper right. Let's get into it. Previously, there's an island in the North Atlantic where people have been looking for an incredible treasure for 229 years. Geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner returns to Oak Island for some more swamp analysis, specifically the Nolan's Cross type boulders sitting on top of smaller rocks placed together similarly to the paved area found previously. This new formation is between the paved area and the eye of the swamp. Dr. Spooner agrees that it doesn't look much different than the paved area and collects a twig from underneath one of the big boulders to carbon date. He also says that it was definitely not a natural occurrence. Marty video calls Irving Equipment Limited to find out the removal timeline for the sheet piling dam around Smith's Cove. Their permit expires in a month, and Irving will need 3 weeks to disassemble and remove it, as well as restore the beach as it was previously. On the last episode, a long-range excavator was used to uncover what might be the flood tunnel. It filled with water and began caving in, so it was backfilled. The time needed for removal means their access for further excavation will be cut off soon. The next day, Billy begins excavating again and brings up wood, giving the indication of a shaft. Rick says the reason they are looking for the flood tunnel is so they can turn it off. Coincidentally, the new Season 12, Episode 4, airing the day after I'm posting this recap, has the Laguna team using a Robert Restall map from the 1960s to try to do that exact same thing. Alex and Peter arrive at the McInnis Foundation excavation being done by archaeologist Laird Niven and conservator Kelly Barassa. Ground-penetrating radar had previously detected a sub-basement that would have been below the original money pit finder's house. Researcher-author James McQuiston had presented a theory that Daniel McInnis didn't just stumble upon the money pit in 1795, but that he had prior knowledge of it due to his ties to the Freemason order. Laird says that fortunately there are a lot of pictures of the house that they can use for reference, and they have found the closest to house wall of the outbuilding. And that's shown here. Rick and members of the team are in the war room to get the laser ablation results from the lead artifact found in the money pit area recently. New Brunswick University professor Christopher McFarland tells them that it includes mercury and tin. The mercury content is particularly interesting because it would be consumed by the smelting process if added at that time. Jack tells of the theory that Sir Francis Bacon was involved with Oak Island and that he pioneered preserving documents in mercury. He is presumed by some to be the actual author of the William Shakespeare works. The lead itself comes from one of the Greece mainland, the archipelago, Cyprus, or Turkey. Gary asks, who do we know that hung out around there? That was a bad Gary, sorry. And of course the answer is the Knights Templar. At the Lot 21 McInnis Foundation area, Laird has found a trapdoor entrance to a possible secret basement. He's also found this bone knife at the basement floor level. It is decorated and would have originally been to his index finger in length. He dates it from 1750 to the end of the 1700s. In the uplands area of Smith's Cove, Billy is continuing to expose this shaft wall. And Terry shows Rick how these two pieces fit together and said it's hand hewn and constructed like the U-shaped structure, which carbon dated to 1769, 26 years before the discovery of the original money pit. Rick takes an excavator bucket ride down to close to the bottom of the shaft, but is unable to determine if there's a tunnel. It is starting getting dark, so they will continue the next day. The next day arrives, and it is the last day before they have to abandon search efforts in the area in order to satisfy the sheet piling dam removal deadline. This image shows how close that shaft is to the cave-in pit, which is filled with water. It is thought that it caved in when a lady was plowing it because there was a tunnel or something underneath. Billy pulls up another timber from deeper and they will send a sample for carbon dating. Billy hits what he thinks is a large rock or big piece of wood. Marty will lean over in a harness to take a look. He can't tell for sure, but thinks there is a tunnel. Rick has a great idea, mounting a camera on the side of a bucket. Not 100% inconclusive, but they think it's a tunnel. Steve has plotted the shaft on the map and they put a line through it from close to the middle of the U-shaped structure. And that's the end for Smith's Cove this season, except for getting the dendro dating on the wood. I'll continue retro no-cap recaps of season 7 and 8 while also recapping the new season 12 episodes late Tuesday nights as they air. All other episodes are in my Oak Island playlist. I'm also doing retro no-cap recaps of season 2 through 4 of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch as I have time. Seasons 1 and 5 are all done and are in the Skinwalker Ranch playlist. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Siempre avanti.